Yeah, so that way I knew just how high above us the TNT needed to spawn. Oh yeah, and I actually built this above that. Originally this was actually activated by a button. Yeah, so that works pretty well. That's where I first had my first design for the rail. So my second design for the rail made a huge platform. Kind of overcomplicated things with some of the redstone down here. I actually do think that I could have made this work, but all it would have done was replace the T flip-flop that I had, basically, and that was just a singular copper bulb and comparator. And also this, I was going to say this would be more expensive with ancient debris, but it's actually cheaper. But that's not really an issue. It's more expensive overall, though. This was when I first was testing out activator rails. I was having staggered activator rails, not activator. Yeah, activator rails. That's it. Thinking one would pick it up and then drop it off in the next spot, but it doesn't really work like that. Here's the very first rail, I believe. Here. Oh yeah, so then back here I was testing if we get a snowman to throw a snowball. So this should also work with me. Yeah, as you can see, it's perfectly set up so that when you throw a snowball, the piston directly beneath you and no other piston will fire. And I believe that if okay, yeah, so if I am a quarter block up, we'll still activate the piston, but basically what I did was I had a snow golem and a zombie in there. So you don't know what this piston was doing. And the idea was as soon as one piston's activated, it will close the one behind it, I think. But yeah, it doesn't really work. Nothing regarding the snow golem's movement worked because they move very slowly, and when they're targeting a mob, they don't move at all. This was, oh yeah, at first I had this idea where I can forcefully push it down a hallway with pistons, but I think I could get that to work, but then getting all the pistons out of the way and replacing it with ancient debris so that they don't blow up would be near impossible. It was one of my earlier designs for the hallway. There's another one I was thinking of having string, but yeah, string doesn't work for obvious reasons for using TNT. This was one of my first mob cage designs. What was this? Oh yeah, this I was seeing so that we can throw. This doesn't even work. And it kind of works, but it doesn't work with projectiles, which is what it's meant for. The idea was there'd be a zombie in there. Snow Golem has perfect view of the zombie, so it can throw the snowball, and then as soon as it's thrown, it will close the piston. But it doesn't work at all. This is another, pushing down the hallway idea. And I might have been cooking with this, but I don't know. It would just be ridiculously complicated. And it would be so expensive. I mean, for every block that has to move. It would definitely have to be an ancient debris. So it'd be like an ancient debris, probably like 4 pistons, 2 observers minimum, bunch of repeaters, a target block. It just gets really expensive. This was me trying out a double piston extender. This was another idea just with pushing. And this is my first idea with pushing, and this is the first hallway. So basically I just had a zombie in there. My idea was, I actually did some stuff with like a mini bubble column. So that way the snowman could see the zombie and throw the snowball at it. And then the bubble column would push it up. That ended up not even working, because it works with wither skulls because they travel slower than snowballs. But yes, that didn't work. And I mean, either way, they're not gonna move forward. No. Yeah, and so basically my idea was it's blast proof. Snowman's gonna move forward. Once it gets close enough to the zombie, something here will close, so yes, that will close. It'll see another zombie all the way down here, be like, oh, let me go towards that. And once it enters that hallway, I don't know, I guess like TNT would go off here. Water bucket, some sort. Push all the items somewhere. And the thing that makes the most difficult also, or I guess what I thought would make it the most difficult, ended up not being a challenge at all, is the way that hopper minecarts do not work anymore. Let me actually... And like they work, but they can't pick up items through blocks. Oh yeah, I stopped it, I forgot. Yeah, and so if you... Yeah, I haven't tested out unloading part of it while it's running. Something I do need to, just make sure there aren't any issues. But whoops. I think that's just about everything that needs to be done. I just need to build a final design with this. Yeah, I'm just gonna build one final thing and then use world edit to, rotate it around. I'm thinking it would be 4 in a square. And if that's the case, I could honestly do as much as I want, just for more efficiency. And it's not the cheapest thing as it is. Actually, I mean, it's actually pretty cheap. It's just that there is the ancient debris, which, yeah, so it's 2 ancient debris per. But I mean, like, there's a handful of repeaters, a couple comparators. There's gonna be some hoppers down at the bottom, redstone torches. I also need to figure out which blocks need to be obsidian, because making this all out of obsidian would be pretty expensive as well. The rails are going to be a bit pricey, but yeah, not that bad. And yeah, I mean, the TNT, we have sand duper and gunpowder farm, so that's not going to be an issue. I'm still not... So the one thing that can break this machine is just like if a mob goes onto the track. And that was also the issue with sugarcane farm. But it's super easy, just place blocks around it or something, and like light up the area. What's over here? Oh yeah. I don't think I talked about this yet. This is me figuring out the timings for the skull catalyst, so. Yeah, so that's when I first realized, okay, we got the timing good. I was like, okay, probably don't need, 2 of these. And I think I actually got it in a smaller area. Yeah, slightly smaller area. I mean, like, if you were to building a rectangle around it, this would be a larger area, but. And this is cheaper by a lectern, comparator, calibrated skulk sensor, and a target block. Actually, no. I actually have the same number of comparators, but I'm pretty sure I could just use redstone dust there, so not entirely sure why. Yeah, I mean, I actually first did like this. Not sure why I stopped that. Let me just. Yeah, I mean, so that still works. I'm not exactly sure. I didn't do that in the end. But, I mean, I do have that in the final design. Made sure all the redstone is essentially perfect. Up here, it's definitely not. At first I was going to do a little hopper clock, but it was like, no, not worth it. Because, honestly, that would be more expensive. And, I mean, we just need to build a few more blocks up here. And also the issue with the hopper clock is, I'm not exactly sure how to, like, activate and deactivate a hopper clock. And if that would, like, that would freeze it at the start, some point in the middle. Because if it freezes in the middle, then that will just mess everything up. Oh yeah, and just some TNT, fits of rage. Let me get a lever. That was fun. Yeah, it's actually kind of close to the build. It would have been so sad if it blew up. And it is mostly obsidian. But yeah, this is everything it took for just that thing over there. And I don't know, I'm pretty proud of myself for getting this done. Could be more proud. You know what would make this perfect, actually? Okay, now the build is going to be complete. Okay, yeah. Now we're cooking. Let's go. Look at me, fool. Oh my god, he is so cute. Got a little smile on his face. Yeah. That is everything. Oh, the calibrated skulk sensors are so good. Also, I mean, they are. Yeah, they're just amazing. Okay. Yeah, I think that's everything.